This video is brought to you by Granger Motors, where you can save up to $1,300 on a factory extended warranty on your new Ford or Ram, Jeep, Chrysler vehicle.
I have a question, my friend. Is this pickup right here a beginning of a new trend?
You mean the return of the street truck, which is essentially what we're talking about. But before we go there, welcome to my crib. We're at the Los Angeles Auto Show for 2024, and I'm officially a Los Angelesian again.
Yes.
And this is the Ford booth. So we're now talking about what is essentially a very new Ford Maverick, right?
Exactly. So this is a refresh on the Maverick. It's a 2025 Ford Maverick pickup truck, but this is a very special trim level of it, which is the Lobo, which is actually a performance sport truck, which is lowered a little bit. It's not lifted, it's actually lowered a little bit. So I want to know, is this the SoCal pickup truck?
Oh, it's SoCal, all right, with the exception of the fact that it needs to be a convertible, but Ford has not confirmed that yet. But what it is, first of all, Lobo, in Spanish means wolf, which is muy bueno español. Yeah,
yes.
That's right. You like my Spanish?
Yes.
Right. So this truck takes the Maverick recipe and makes it into a more street happy vehicle. And what I mean by that is suspension, tires, wheels, transmission, and the fact that it has a rear end that is very active.
Well, what do you think about the front end? Because they did change it a bit.
Yes,
right?
They did indeed. The front end has a completely different grille on the front of it. This is all new as well. Pretty much the entire front end is. This is something that, well, frankly, is completely different than the previous one. Some of you guys like the new design, some of you do not like the new design. I will say this, it is a little bit more grown up, so it looks a little bit more like the F-150 in my opinion.
I'm still a little bit on the fence here. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I need to see it driving around still. So, especially the waterfall grille. But what about the wheels? Come over here.
Yeah, the wheels are especially
here.
cool. So I like these wheels a lot. Now, they're not steel, if you were wondering, like Steelies. Yeah, that's an alloy. But this is an aero design. It is specific to this truck. There is another wheel that is available, by the way. But this certainly looks like something that would come on an ST. No, there are no ST versions of this truck available yet.
That's the kind of confusing part, right? When we heard about the performance version of the Maverick pickup, everybody assumed ST.
Yes.
Right? But I think Ford is a little bit more careful, right? Because when they have a brand, it has to, pass certain tests, right? Acceleration, cornering, all those things.
One of the things that has recently happened with the Maverick is that they've started to add different trims to it that are very similar to what they have available on the Ford Ranger and the Ford F-150. That includes the Tremor package, an FX4 package. This Lobo package, however, is specific to this truck. And there are a couple things that you should know. Now we're over at the rear end, and guess what? It has a version of the rear end. You know how there's a locker that's available with the Tremor FX?
Exactly,
yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
This is a similar system, but it's built for the street, so it actually works a little bit differently. Now,
it's a little bit of torque vectoring, right? So it's really a performance-oriented machine.
Now, there's a couple other things to keep in mind in addition to this, and one of the facts of the matter is transmission is a little bit different.
Exactly. So I was actually talking to one of the people on the Ford engineering team when I was in Detroit for the introduction of this. And they said, they weren't quite happy with the acceleration. This does have a 2-liter turbo, 250 horsepower, but the acceleration, they actually removed the gear. Mm-hmm. So instead of 8-speed, it's now a 7-speed.
Yeah, and they say that actually does help it with performance overall.
Well, we haven't driven it yet.
No, we haven't driven it yet, which is something I'm looking forward to, especially here in California. Now, let's move a little bit over.
Do you want to show the interior really quick?
Yes.
Roman, do you want to jump in there? Let me take a minute and tell you about this video's sponsor, Granger Motors, and their extended factory warranties for new Ford, Jeep, Ram, and Chrysler and Dodge vehicles. Let's face it, guys, the new cars and trucks that are coming out right now are packing even more amazing features with technology and more complexity than ever before. And because of it, an extended factory warranty is worth considering the next time you buy a brand new vehicle. Did you know that you can buy an extended factory warranty from any dealership? Yep, you can buy a new car or a pickup truck from your local dealership and buy an extended factory warranty from Granger Motors and save an average of $1,300 off the list price. Granger can do this because they're #1 seller of Ford Protect warranties and one of the top sellers of Mopar vehicle protection warranties in the country. So contact Granger Motors next time you buy your new car or truck for that additional peace of mind. Just use the link in the description below.
Robin's our camera boy, so thank you so much for your hard work. Now, there are a couple things that update the interior. That is new screens, which is a huge bonus. The former screen actually was smaller. I'm not even being funny.
Yeah.
It was smaller than my cell phone screen. The new one is much better. It's at a better angle. It's larger. That, I can tell you, is already an improvement. The stitching on this vehicle, by the way, if you're looking at it, is a multi-stitch. So there's multi-colors here that go throughout the seats. Seats are specially embossed with the Lobo symbol on them, and throughout the entire interior design, you get kind of a refresh in terms of the overall inlays. You can see it here too with this type of blue. It's different, and it gives the vehicle a little bit of its own personality.
Yeah, but Nathan, I have one issue.
Yeah.
It's right here, Roman. So the payload on this pickup is 996 pounds. It's under 1,000 pounds, which normally for a small pickup would be okay.
Yeah, but you're not thinking street yo.
But look, there's another one. There's another red Maverick, which could have more payload and more usability.
Yes. So you want to have a look at it?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Let's go check it out. So once again, the Maverick comes in a couple different flavors, and one of the flavors is this Lobo, but this isn't the only one. This is its own thing, right?
Yes. So it tows about 2,000 pounds, but if you want to tow 4,000 pounds,
you can get almost anything else.
Well, you could get that other Maverick.
But here's the good news. So recently, some of you guys might not know this, the Maverick for a while with the hybrid powertrain could only tow 2,000 pounds in the past. That has gone up because they've changed the hybrid powertrain to make it a little bit more robust. As such, it can tow up to 4,000 pounds.
And have all-wheel drive too.
Wow. So
yes.
This has got a lot of goodies on it. Wow. I don't know what I think about this.
Well, this is additional. This is like an accessory, right?
Yeah.
So it's got a bed extender. Do you want to open the tailgate? Do you want to see if that will open? Yeah. So actually, we can flip this up. So yeah, I mean, now you're talking, dude. Now you have a little bit more capacity, capability, all-wheel drive, hybrid, and 4,000 pounds of towing.
Yes, and there's something in there that I think is kind of important to talk about.
So I also talked to some of the designers.
Yeah.
This is 400 watt outlet. And I said, it's a hybrid. Why can't you do more power?
Yeah.
And they just told me, no, it might come in the future, but it wasn't quite done.
I want 2,000.
At least 2,000,
I want
right?
2,000, baby. I want to be able to run a blender and a computer at the same time while I'm listening to my music.
A blender and a computer.
At the same time. Okay, so.
Oh, she's still in the back. See if it fits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go around this way. Let's show it.
Let's have a look. See here. I did not bring the light, so you guys.
That's okay. That's okay. We got
this
the
seat's
camera
back almost as far as it goes.
We got the
here
camera.
We go.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm 6'1", and I have the stubbier legs amongst all the TFL guys, but I have the chubbier tummy. As such, I fit just fine. Lots of headroom. The seats are very solid. Just so you know, they're always. It's kind of a typical thing. Not a very long seat cushion either. Andre, why don't you sit in the front seat?
Yeah, let me see
Sit
that.
in front of me.
Let me see that. Maybe we should both be comfortable. I mean, it's quite amazing, actually.
Wouldn't it be great if we could long-term one of these?
That would be. You know what? TFL Studios is buying a Maverick.
Ah!
Yes.
Cat's out of the bag now.
We are announcing something brand new 2025. Actually, I think we mentioned it before, but we are buying a version of this pickup, 2025 Ford Maverick. Yes.
Why?
Because we want to test it. We want to long-term test it.
No. Why are we buying this one? Why did we wait 2 years?
Because it's a hybrid all-wheel drive. We are based in Colorado, in Denver. We need all-wheel drive. Now you can get efficiency, about 40 mpg in the city, plus all-wheel drive, but there's a caveat.
Well, there's a couple caveats.
There is no Tremor hybrid all-wheel drive, and there is no FX4 hybrid all-wheel drive.
Or Lobo all-wheel drive hybrid. So those are
So
things
it's not
to keep
perfect. I mean, it's not. It could be more perfect.
Let me put it to you this way. One of the reasons why I didn't get a Maverick and I got the Hyundai instead, the Santa Cruz instead, was because the Santa Cruz had a base model with all-wheel drive. I wanted to get the hybrid with all-wheel drive, but they didn't have it back then. Had I known that if I waited a year to get one, I might have waited a year.
So you're welcome. I have a guest bedroom. If you want to travel back to Colorado, you can come out and drive the Maverick right there.
I appreciate that. And there'll be some opportunities to come out to Colorado. I am still part of the team, which is important to mention. So,
I
one
like
final
this
thing.
grill better, actually.
Yeah, this is the better grill. This is one I wanted to mention. I actually like the design of this better, but I like the Lobo wheels, but I like the height of this better. So what if we combine everything together?
And also the stripes. We need these stripes.
There's better stripes out there.
What do you think?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, anyway, guys, thanks for joining us at the LA Auto Show. We appreciate your time.
but the question,
What?
is it SoCal or not?
This is not, that is. There it is.
Okay, okay.
That's just that simple.
Thanks, guys. As always, we'll see you next time.